Hey everyone, Jared from Yota Expedition here. Today I'm going to be going over the Elite Series fog lights for the 3rd Gen Tacoma. The Elite Series from Diode is a high-performance OEM-grade replacement for Toyota's factory halogen or LED fog lights. Diode custom-engineered the optics in these fog lights to have an extremely wide pattern with intense light output. And they also integrated an amber backlight in both the white and yellow lens colors. These fog lights are road legal and SAE compliant, and they're also plug and play on your Tacoma. The Elite Series come in the yellow, which is a 3000 Kelvin color temperature, and the white over here, which is a 6000 K. These are both significantly brighter than our halogen bulbs that come in the Tacoma stock. The Tacoma comes with the halogens, which are 5800 candela. These yellow 3000 Ks from Diode are gonna come in at 9800 candela, and the 6000 K whites are coming in at a whopping 12,100 candela. In the box with your Elite Series, you're gonna get a set of the fog lights, the brackets you need to mount them on your Tacoma, and you're gonna get 2 harnesses, 1 for each light. Now for the backlighting on some of the other models, you actually have to use a bug and wire tap into your factory harness. On the Tacoma though, for this $20 option right here, you're going to get a plug and play harness for the backlighting that's going to tap into the parking lights on the Tacoma so you don't have to cut into your factory harness. Diode Dynamics products are also engineered and assembled in the USA so you can assure a quality part. All right, we're gonna go ahead and kick it over to Corey. He's gonna get these installed on our Tacoma. We're gonna be putting the white ones on ours permanently because we have the yellow ones on the 4Runner already. But we will temporarily install the yellow ones and show you what they look like on our Tacoma. So let's go head over to Corey and get that started.
Thanks for that wonderful explanation, Jared, but let's go ahead and get these things installed. Like he said, we're gonna be installing the white ones on the Tacoma, so let's go ahead over there and see what tools we need. So to get access to the fog lights on the Tacoma, we're gonna have to pull back the fender liner a little bit, and in order to do that, we're gonna have to remove some 10mm bolts. So I have a ratchet and a 10mm socket. And then there is a couple clips here as well. So I have a plastic prying tool for getting those out. And then I have a Phillips head screwdriver, and that's gonna be to take the fog light itself off from the front bumper. All right, so we're gonna have one clip right here. We're gonna pry that out. We're also gonna have a 10mm bolt here as well. And then on the bottom side of the front bumper, there's gonna be 2 10mm bolts there as well. Once we take all that out, we should have enough free that we can pull back the fender liner and get access to the fog light. All right, so once you get that clip out there, what you're gonna do is pry that away from the bumper. So either a flathead screwdriver or a plastic prying tool, and just pry it out like so. So we got those bolts removed and that clip. Now on that front bolt that you took out on the bumper, there is a yellow clip there that it threads into. In order to get the fender liner to come out of its position, you're gonna have to reach inside and you're gonna have to depress that clip and push it down and remove it, and then you should be able to get the fender liner moved out of your way. So from inside the bumper, you're gonna push this in here and push it down, and then you're gonna have to pry it down in between the bumper and the fender liner. I used my plastic prying tool and got it to pop out of there completely. So now with that completely removed, we can go ahead and pull this out. You might have to turn the wheel to get it into a better position. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it back behind the tire here the best I can. But now we have plenty of room to reach in there, unplug the fog light, and get it removed from the bumper. So once you got the fender liner pulled back, getting the fog light out is fairly easy. You got one plug there that you have to disconnect, and from what I can see, only one screw holding the fog light in place. On the 4Runner, there was 2 screws, which I thought there was gonna be 2 screws on this as well, but from what I can see, it's only held in by 1 screw. So we're gonna go ahead, unplug it, take that screw out, and take out that stock fog light. So just like that, fog light is out. It was only held in with one screw, as you saw. So now we can go ahead and easily get the Diode Dynamics one in, and let's see the difference between our OEM one and the new one. So right away I can tell these are much heavier because this is an aluminum housing where all of this is plastic. When you go and pick which one you want to put on this side, you want the adjustment screw and the plug to be facing down, and then the text that's on the front of the lens, obviously you want that to be not upside down. So we have the correct fog light here. We're gonna go ahead, slip these two tabs into the slots on the bumper, and then we'll reinstall our one screw, and then use the harnesses provided from Diode to get this hooked up. So go ahead and slip that into those two slots there, and then we'll go ahead and reinstall our screw. Fog light is reinstalled into the bumper, so now I have one of the harnesses here from Diode Dynamics. This end here is going to be plugging into your factory fog light plug. This end here is going to be plugging into the Diode Dynamics fog light, and then this longer wire here is going to be for the backlight feature on the fog light, which we are going to be running up to our headlight wiring, and then we'll talk about that when we get there. So we got that plugged into the OEM harness. If for some reason you go to turn the fog lights on and they are not working, or one is not working, it could be because you have that plugged in 180 degrees off. So if it doesn't work, just unplug it, turn it, plug it back in, and then you should be good to go. Now we can take the other end here and plug that into the back of the fog light. All right, so we got the fog light hooked up, the main functionality anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pop the hood. We're gonna run that other wire up over to our headlight here. We'll get that hooked up and get the backlight feature working as well. So we got the jumper harness here from Diode to make the backlighting hookup a lot easier. I ran the wiring up here for that as well. But I'm actually probably going to do it from underneath the truck. It looks like it should be easier to access the plug from down there versus from up here. But I'm going to go ahead and show you which plug we're going to be unplugging. So you can see the plug here with the green, blue, and white wire. It's a 3-wire plug. That's the one we're going to be unplugging and plugging in the jumper harness from Diode. All right, you can't see me because I'm on the bottom of the truck, but I'm going to take the plug, and there's a little post that it is mounted onto. So just go ahead and pull the plug off of that post. Then you'll be able to pull it down towards you a little bit and get easier access at unplugging it. So we got that harness unplugged. Now we're gonna go ahead, plug the one end into the Diode Dynamics harness, and then the other end, I can't see. We're gonna plug that into the other end of the OEM harness. So now we have a complete connection, but we also have the wire here for the backlighting function. So we'll go ahead and plug that in now too. All right, you're also gonna get a couple of zip ties from Diode Dynamics, so all the extra wire that you have, ravel it up nicely, zip tie it together so that you know you're not going to potentially have anything dangling down or get caught on something that you don't want it to and rip the wiring out. So at this point, this side is finished up. I would suggest testing the fog light, making sure everything works correctly before you go and put the fender liner back in, because if you have to flip that plug, you don't want to have to take everything apart again. Also take a look at the adjustment screw on your fog light. If that is loose, your fog light may have some play back and forth. If you want to check out a video on how to adjust your fog lights, there's a link down in the description for that as well. The fog light's on. Fog light on? Backlight on? Fog light on? All right. So as you saw, fog light's working properly. Now we can go ahead, put the fender liner back in, put the bolts and clips back in, and we can go ahead and repeat the same steps on the driver's side. So we have the Diode Dynamics one on this side, and this is still the OEM halogen fog light. And you can see there is a drastic difference between the two. This has much brighter output compared to this. So we're gonna go ahead and get the yellow one installed on this side, and then we'll show you the differences between the white from Diode and the yellow from Diode. All right, so we got the yellow one here on the driver's side. Just wanted to show you the differences between the white and the yellow. You guys can decide whether you like the white or yellow better, but we're gonna go ahead and take the yellow one back out now. We're gonna put the white one in. We're gonna keep the white ones in for good. That's gonna wrap up this install of the Diode Dynamics Elite Series fog lights on the 3rd Gen Tacoma. If you guys have any questions about these fog lights or the installation, ask us down in the comments. And if you wanna pick a set of these up for your Tacoma, head over to YotaExpedition.com or click the link in the description. Like I said earlier, there is also a link down there to learn how to adjust your fog lights. So if that's something you wanna learn, you can check that out as well. That's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next.